Good morning, dear viewers. Happy weekend. Happy last Saturday in the month of March 2025. How are you? Happy Environmental Sanitation Day. I believe you are well. As always, we are grateful to Almighty God for keeping us alive and well, strong and healthy, and hearty. This is Be Inspired. We are reaching you live from our KIJC studio, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Special thanks to KIJC for making this program possible. Today is Saturday, March 29, 2025. This program is about promoting entrepreneurship and creativity, as well as any form of service that people in our immediate environment provide. We hope to inspire you out there watching us live to take that bold step to start up your own business, no matter how small, regardless of the challenge that you may face in the process. This, we believe, is our own way of contributing towards increasing our nation's gross domestic product, GDP, and improving our society. My name is Iquo Johnson. And before we take a breather, I want to announce again that, this season is a season of talking to the big wigs in the movie industry in Akwa Ibom State. So today we have a major stakeholder, a very big one, and I am very proud because she is female, a very big achiever. Her name is Dr. Mrs. Ekaette Brand Edem. Let me just show you her face before I continue.
Wow. Good morning.
Okay, good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine, very fine.
Okay. I want to say a very big thank you to you for finally, I have been trying to get her into our studio since like 2 years now. Finally, I got her because she understands that I need this help. I need it.
By force.
by fire, by force. I pleaded with her yesterday. I said, please just try. So she's actually very busy, but she has made out time to be here. She is not here alone. She is with her husband. Oh my goodness. Oh God. I said I love men who support their wives, Men, support your wives. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, and then not only that, she is here with her little daughter. Son. See him there. See the way he's doing his face. I called him daughter. Okay, can you see him? That is John Paul. Okay, so thank you so much, doctor. I am so grateful that you're able to make it. Okay, so we're going to talk to her. She is a producer of the movie called The Imperial Rift. What does this mean? What is it about? Now we're going to be looking at aesthetics in that particular movie, so just stay with us. Okay, for now we shall take a breather. Please stay with us. Thank you, and God bless you.
Do you have a business idea? Are you thinking of how to work your dream? Then be inspired. Learn from experienced entrepreneurs. Discover and develop your talents and potentials. Be challenged. Take that bold step to start up your business. Use your skills for the good of the society. Give wings to your vision. Let it fly. Be inspired. Brought to you by KIJC, live from KIJC Studio, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Live stream via Facebook at Be Inspired Talk Show with Iquo from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Watch the rerun card via YouTube every Saturday by 6 p.m. at Be Inspired Talk Show with Iquo. Be inspired, promoting entrepreneurship.
Welcome back from that short break, and thank you for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is Be Inspired. We are reaching you live from our KIJC studio, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Congratulations to us in KIJC for having our own studio. Please remember to like and follow our Facebook page at Be Inspired Talk Show with Iquo, and then join us on Monday. That will be March 31, last day in March, for the rebroadcast of this particular episode by 7 p.m. via our Facebook page, The Inspired Talk Show with Iquo. Then subscribe to our YouTube channel at KIJCENL. Oh, we have some of our beautiful people watching. Sister Sylvia Itaewan Johnson, our number one fan, all the way from the United States of Kaduna, according to Mrs. Patience Malaki, and our top fan, Ifeneme, according to Iniabasi. Oh my goodness, we have our Tier Rubber Doctor. I call her my inspirational mama, Dr. Anebiet Nwana Mbede. She's supporting her colleague now. Her colleague is in the studio. She is watching. Thank you so much. Okay, I have been making a lot of noise in this studio.
Wow.
I want to just shut this my mouth there. I want to stop this monkey. And I'm going to switch my camera to Dr. Mrs. Ekaette Brian. Okay, I want to thank you once again. You cannot, in fact, my heart is full of joy. I'm so happy you're here. Okay, thank you so much once again. I want to thank your husband and your little son, Mr. Prince. Oh, he's a prince. Prince John Paul. Okay, so first I would like you to introduce yourself. I know you, some of us know you, but we want to hear from the horse's mouth. I am not calling you hustle. So I want to hear from you. Introduce yourself, but I would like you to focus on your achievements in the Iquo movie industry.
Wow. Well, good morning once again. The name is Ekaette Brian. And please, I think it should be Dr. Ekaette Brian. Why don't they say Dr. Mistake? Dr. Ekaette Brian Edem. That's my name anyway.
Okay, I stand corrected.
CEO Jopabi Arts Academy.
Okay.
I'm a lecturer with the Iquo State University, Performing Arts Department. Well, what else? I'm married, as you just said. My husband is here with my son. And what else? I'm a scriptwriter, I'm a director, I'm a designer, all-round designer. Yes, I'm a business, add the rest. I'm everywhere. I believe that there's nothing impossible for someone to do. So definitely, I don't see myself saying I can't do anything. I do almost everything. So I'm good at almost everything.
Okay.
So that's me. I'm just me.
Okay.
What else? I'm a movie producer. What else?
Okay.
I'm a woman of God. Only that I don't have a church.
Dr. Nebian has a church. Okay.
Thank you so much, Iquo.
Alright. Before I continue, I would like to ring my bell. Indiabasi should be here to be ringing this bell. She knows how to ring the bell very well, but she is on her way. So we have another big somebody. You know. If you know, you know. And last was it Tuesday or Thursday? No, it was on Wednesday that we're in the studio. He was here, he joined us. Mr. Emmanuel Okon. Okay, he is the chairman, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Iquo State University branch. He has recently been re-elected. That is his people found him worthy in character and everything to be re-elected. So congratulations, sir, and thank you so much for the support. Okay, Doctor, you talked about being the Chief Executive Officer of Jopabi Arts Academy. You have done a lot with that academy.
Yeah.
Now, I would like you to know that when I hosted Mr. Moses Esco on Monday, this last Monday, and I was asking about movies in Iquo State that have some aesthetic elements, he mentioned you.
Wow.
He mentioned that you have been producing movies that have a lot of aesthetic elements. And he mentioned this particular movie that we're reviewing today, the Imperial Rift. And I told him, yes, I acted in that movie. When I saw myself, oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so I would like you to talk about the activities. I know you have been posting a lot. You have been sharing some of those videos you have produced. So I would like you to talk about the achievements of that Jopabi Arts Academy. Apart from Mr. Moses Esco, Mr. Moses Esco has directed two of the movies that I am reviewing in this this batch of interviews. He directed Bridge of No Return, then he directed Ekaette. He is a chairman. He's a zonal chairman of Directors Guild of Nigeria, DGN, Iquo Cross River Zonal Chapter. So he commended you. And Professor Wemedi Matsapo also commended you some time ago. So let me ring a bell for you again. Okay, so I'd like you to talk about Jepabi Art Academy, some of the movies you have produced, and some of the achievements.
Okay, Jepabi Art Academy is it's a big name anyway. You know, it started during the COVID-19. While staying at home, we're thinking of what to do, and all of a sudden, I was like, okay, I wrote a play in 2019, Unexpected Marriage, which was a stage play, and then did another one in 2020, the Royal Rumble. It was after the Royal Rumble I was like, wow, this should be a very nice movie. You know, if produced as a movie, this is a very nice story. I never had in mind to even produce movies, but it was because of that play, and that was my first play, which was in 2019, Unexpected Marriage, and it went on stage that same year. And even the story wasn't complete, even till the production day. We're still working on something, putting up more scenes and all of that. So that really inspired me. I was like, what do I do? Where do I start from? I said, okay. When I told my husband, he said, okay, let's come up with something. I said, I need a name. I want to register. He said, no problem. So he now came up with a name and said, Jopapi. I said, what is the meaning? Because it's not English, it's not Latin, it's not whatever. I said, so what's the meaning? He said, JOPA stands for John Paul.
Wow.
So the BEE stands for him, Brian, then Brian and Ekaette. So there was no second idea. I just said, okay, we carry that. Let's carry that. Immediately I registered. You know, since they said as a producer, you need to registration and all of that. So immediately I registered the name with CAC, and then we started production. And the very first movie I started with was the Imperial Rift. Is the acronym from the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Because when I wanted to produce the movie, I realized that the Royal Rumble online is for wrestlings, you know, and all of them. Once you type Royal Rumble, it's mostly wrestling. Okay. I was like, okay, how do I get a name for my film so that it will not have a clash, and then it can be an icon for me. Okay. So I decided to just, if you see, the Royal is the same Imperial, so Rumble is the same Rift.
Rift, wow.
So it's
very interesting.
So I now use the synonyms, you know, the Royal Rumble to turn to Imperial Rift. So that was how we got the name. And then that year, and I decided to produce it. I said, how do I start? I decided to call in people that have ideas in the movie industry. Call my brother-in-law, Blessing Johnson, the CEO of Savvy Lemons, who produced the Five Alive Girls and all of that. Okay. So I called him. I said, okay, because we've been working together right from when I was in the university. I met him at Insight Bible Church, was part of the drama team. So I was always teaching them how to act. Then as a student, they really loved my, you know, training and coaching and all of that. So they really most of them got close to me. So at some point, he became my in-law. Through me, he got married to my sister.
Aww, that's so connection.
So because of that, I just called him. Okay, this is what I want to do. What do you think? They said, nice idea, but it's not easy and all of that. Where are you? I said, where do I start? They said, okay, why don't you think of maybe having it on Rock TV, DSTV, and all of that. They were giving me options, so many options. I was like, this is great. You can make money. I said, okay. I started somewhere. Decided to take some money from my salary ahead of time. Called in actors, brought in Ivesin, brought in what's his name?
That's all huge.
Yes, Stanley, Obinabo, and the rest. Tommy Roland that was here. Then, including you,
my humble self.
Yeah, so you acted as a woman there in the film. Then
I was telling them to run away with Echo. What are you going to do in the market? I am not there.
Okay, well, it was quite interesting. That was my first attempt, although it was really stressful because I didn't really understand. Most people were like, "Do you think it's a stage thing? That you guys are coming to do stage production? This is film." So, but at least the push, I really had to like push it, and then I got a good result. If it is now, and I did what I did by that time, I think the production would have gone far, not just you. So I thank God that we got somewhere. And then from that Imperial Rift, I came up with Just in Love. Just in Love is also a story from The Unexpected Marriage I wrote in 2019.
Wow.
So I now changed it to Just in Love because you need to consider titles as you are producing movies. So the next one was the Just in Love. Before you know it, somebody called me from outside and said I want to write documents on the fattening room for her practical. That's why I had the next one, the fattening room right. So she came in from outside, we worked together, and then it was a story I wrote for my PhD work at some point because I was looking at traditional performances. I love festivals, I love culture, anything cultural, I appreciate it. So I thought, okay, I had a story, I had what I wrote for my PhD work, although that wasn't my area at some point, I dropped it. But okay, I can come up with a story, and from there we produce. So she came from US to Nigeria, so we worked together. Although it was for her, practical as a student there, but I think she had an A for that practical. It was quite interesting.
Wow.
So even the collaboration made me to learn a few things from there because she'll be sending her topics. This is what they said I should do and all of that. So I learned also because it's different from what we do here.
Is it
so from there?
Please remind me of the name of that program. That cultural event. It was a major event. It was in the news. I heard you on radio. You were talking about. Is it that one, or is this another one?
No. This one was another one. She just came in. I think that was like 4 or 5 years ago. Not just now.
This one I am.
Okay, is it the installation of the
No, there is one that was a major cultural event that they have been talking about. You organized it.
Is it the Boom Festival of Dance?
I think yes, that's it.
So that gave birth to a lot of things, including the Boom Festival of Dances. So I've been producing a lot. I have 2 high school movies I produced, and I'm working on another one. This one, the story is big. Not just to be there. I need money. We need money. We need money to make it bigger.
Okay. All right. Well done. Quite interesting.
The Legend of Akama Kingdom. I was thinking about the title.
The one you're working on right now.
Yes.
Okay. I want to be there anyway. Congratulations.
No problem.
Okay. I remember that you did, while I was still an administrative assistant in the Department of Performing Arts long ago at Iquo State University, long ago, you produced a stage production, you directed a stage production, a Greek play, Lysistrata. It was beautiful. It was so highly commended. I just want to commend you, and I just remembered.
Thank you.
And then recently I've been talking about your productions, writing a lot on Facebook about your productions. I think you should put them up in a book, Put them in a book and just publish.
No problem. I'll think about that.
It will be
Thank
nice.
You.
Okay, so you have actually answered my next question. Not everything will come out, because I was going to ask how you got into movie production. You have answered that, so there is no need to ask about that. So I would like you to give the synopsis of the Imperial Rift.
Okay.
Yes, I was there. Yes, I know, but I want to hear from you.
No problem.
The synopsis of the Imperial Rift, and then you talk about the aesthetic elements there. I know what I saw while I was there. I know what I saw, and I know the kind of commendation that you got. Despite the fact that it was your first time, you were highly commended among the cast and crew. I think you'll be hearing this for the first time from me. You were highly commended. So well done there. And what I saw on ground while I was having that
experience,
that hands-on experience, is quite different from what I saw in the movie. I know the things that appealed to my senses, so I'd like you to talk about them. First, synopsis, and then the aesthetic elements in the Imperial Rift.
Okay, I'll start with the story. What motivated me in writing that particular story, because they're all my stories. I sat down and said, okay, I love royalty. I love culture. As I said, I love
royalty.
When you talk about royalty, I love it anyway.
Okay.
It stopped in my father's time, but you know, the spirit is still there.
Okay.
So at some point I was like, what do we talk about, you know, coronation and all of that? How do we bring in coronation? How do we bring in culture? I've not really seen stories on that in the States. That's when we talk about the Biblio films and or maybe Aqua Cross films. So I came up with something. I was looking at having now a story of royalty. What happened within this kingdom? The man got married to 2 wives, then he died at a very early stage, which it was a surprise to them because he finished eating with them that evening, went and slept. Not that he was sick or whatever, but he knew he was going to go that night. So he called the first son, who was the slave. He had the first son, but pretended and made him to be the guard and who was like a slave in the palace. But he knew that was his first son. And then handed over the mandate to him as the first son. Others were not aware. So to them, you know, waking up in the morning to see the man gone, and they were like, okay, who will be the next king? The other 2 were born the same day from the first and the second wife. They had a son and a son. And then they believe who will likely be the king after, or the successor after the father. Not knowing that the father had chosen a successor before he died that evening. So that's the story. It was just like a battle of royalty, who is going to be the next, and the entire members of the community didn't even know what was going on. It was only between him and his best friend, and then the maid who gave birth, because the son was from a maid. You know, at some point when the wives couldn't give birth to a child or to kids, he decided to, you know, take some time out with the maid, and luckily the maid had a son, so he decided to send the maid outside the palace. He was always visiting, taking care of this maid and taking care of the boy. So when the boy grew up, he decided to bring in the boy as a slave. You know, aside from the story that you know, as he said that what he saw and the location was different, you know, at some point we were cutting out things because we couldn't meet up, you know, face attempt anyway. So the main story was that they decided to he connived with his best friend, who was the elder, to bring in this child as maybe somebody he had a child and then decided to abandon the child close to the palace. So he got the child as per se. Wow, they said, let's send him away. Do you know where the child is? He said, no, we have a child in the palace. We can't just send this innocent boy away. Let this child stay with us. Likely can be maybe a maid or a servant or whatever. So that was how he started, not knowing that he's breeding his son in the palace. So at the end of it, the truth was revealed, because as tradition demands, when you talk about culture, they don't joke with it. When once the arrow falls on you, it is you. Nobody can change it. So at the end of it, the story said, we need someone who is keeping the king's special beads, which he handed over to the servant. Even the servant did not know he was the son. He kept the secret from everybody, including the son. So the secret was only between him, and his best friend, and the maid, who was the mother, the queen from a distance. So you see that kind of a thing. So even the son wasn't even aware that he was the son, but he was treated as the chief guard. You know, at the end of it, they said we need someone who is keeping the royal. He didn't even know he was keeping the royal beads, but he knew. He came out and said that the king gave him a bead. He didn't even know. He brought it out, and they said, this is the bead we are talking about. So that means you are the son. So it was a shock to everybody. So that is the story. I always love stories that are not just straight, you know, it goes somehow. By the time it comes to the truth, like I said, this one I'm working on, I have like 3-4 on ground. You need to read the story. If you just read the story, you want to act inside.
Wow. I will act inside.
So that is the, you know, synopsis of the story.
Okay, yes, you have actually clarified something, because I was trying to understand. You know, this father's guard, he was number 1. He was dating the female.
The maid.
So when they were discussing, the maid kept saying you were so close to him, you were like a son to him, and all of that. It was in the end that I saw that, okay, he was crowned. So I just try to understand. I get a better picture now. So well done. So
Thank
let's
you.
just talk about the aesthetic elements in the Imperial Rift. Let me hear if you're going to say what I have in mind.
No, I might not really, sitting down to pin it out completely is not that easy anyway, because I think I last watched it. It's over 2-3 years that I went back to that side
Okay.
to look at it. But when you talk about the aesthetic elements, it has to do with color, it has to do with a lot of things, and then going to Imperial Rift, even costumes alone. I love creating, even this one I'm working on, they're all new costumes. I love creating new costumes to fit the ideas I have. So aesthetic elements in costumes, aesthetic elements in, that where the location itself wasn't in existence. You knew we started from scratch, we built it to where it was. So the aesthetic elements even within the location, the shapes, I had to bring in a oyster shelf to design the hut and all of that, so that we can see the beauty of the Bibio people. You look at the culture, you look at the aesthetics in the building, the design and all of that, the palace setting and all of that. Then we look at also the aesthetic elements in makeup. It enhances the body art of the actor. So we had good makeups, we had good costumes, then we had a very good location where we it was something that a lot of people that came in there were like, do we have this kind of place in Iquo State? I'm thinking of making it a theater village anyway. If you can make that place a theater village, it will be a place that most people will come in even from outside to build. So we had aesthetic elements even in lighting and all of that. So I don't need to sit down and name them one after the other. But I don't know, you said you had one, so talk about your own. If I was going to mention yours, so talk about it.
You have mentioned it in parts, but I will tell you in full.
Okay.
Yes, somebody actually mentioned it, that location was so beautiful that we could create a film village.
But we lost it. The entire place is just as empty as it was before.
Oh, really?
Yes. When we left, termites took over. They now took over the sticks for firewood. We planted there. We even planted plantain, planted vegetables. A year after, the thing was growing, and then the greenish environment was coming up. But since it was deserted, people would just walk in there, pick anything and walk out. There was nothing like security.
Wow. Okay, I will tell you what I really saw. You have talked about the costume, fantastic. Makeup, fantastic. And the scenery. The scenery. When you get that panoramic view from the camera, this is beautiful. So you see the trees, you see the plantation, and the camera always comes to that point. It takes off from there and narrows down, like the establishment shots, then it narrows down to the hut. Then the arrangement of the hut. you need to see it, it is beautiful. You see this queen's hut is here, the other one is here, then the king's on the central, and it was so terribly neat. It was neat, it was clean. And then the palace made, so it was really beautiful. Those were the things that really struck me in the movie. So
thank you.
So well done. Okay, I would like us to talk about movies on the global scene, if any. If there is any movie on the global scene, by global I mean Hollywood. Okay, is there any movie in Hollywood that appeals to you in terms of aesthetics, and then what are those elements, what are the films, what are the elements? Number 2, on the African sub-region. When I said this, somebody else said, no, I will not go to Africa. I will go to somewhere else. I want to hear from you now. So Hollywood, global, African sub-region, a region wherever, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya mostly, Egypt, and then anywhere in Africa. Then coming to the national scene, Nollywood. So mention, if you do not have, not a problem.
Well, I will say I don't watch movies.
Okay.
The last time I watched a movie was last year when I was part of the Kaduna Film Festival. They had to send me films for us to just watch and review.
I saw your name there. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. So I don't really watch film. I watched film when I was young, but since I grew old, before now, I was thinking that there is nothing so fantastic about Akwa Ibom movies, Nollywood movies, because you know us in the field, in the theater, whenever you watch, you always see mistakes.
Okay.
You know, so I was like, so why even continuity is always has a little issue, which I'm also having those issues in my films now. I get to realize that it's not about them, it's about the people you are working with. Because you have the money, you pay the money for people to work for you, but if they cannot deliver, you know, by the time you get to the studio and see what they have presented or given back from what you were able to give them,
in terms of editing.
Like what is saying now, that the things you saw at the location, some were not there in the movie. So by the time you can't even join the story again, you take them off, because they'll say there's a particular English they said, you know, when they want to take off some scenes, it's how they call it.
Montage.
No. If they were shooting, they couldn't shoot that film, they'll just cross it off. This is how they say it.
Oh.
Is it knockout, or whatever? I will say, I wrote the story. I had my, you know, intentions of writing this story. I know the things I'm looking for. So why are you just taking off? So before now, I was enjoying Nigerian Nollywood films, even Hollywood films, Bollywood films, when I was 18, 15. But when I now grew older and I got into the system, I said I did performing arts, theater arts. I get to learn so much from my lecturers. I stopped watching films.
Oh, really?
That's why I'm trying to see if it can improve.
Okay. All right.
That's just that.
Okay, good. Since you say you do not watch films, that means the next question will not apply. So I will go to your recommendations. You do not watch films, yes. So you may not be able to tell me the aesthetics in this film and all of that.
Yes.
But what do you think we can do generally in Akwa Ibom State to improve in the industry to ensure that we have more films produced incorporating aesthetic elements?
First of all, I would say that we should have the government involved.
Okay.
All these films I've been producing, I've never had 1 naira from anybody. It comes from me, from my family, so they're always there to support. They'll be asking, all these films you are producing, what's the outcome? You've not brought something back, and we are busy, you know. It's just the people within around me that helps us to at least make out something that's this beautiful. But I'll say generally in Akwa Ibom, if we have someone or maybe fame companies coming in to say, okay, let's partner, let's sponsor, not just send out your money for nothing. Sit down with the producer, look at the storyline. You can also give them share storylines. Check the actors that are coming in, you know, and then process everything before you can send out funds. We have good producers in Akwa Ibom State, but the funds are not there. We have beautiful locations. Like at the moment, I'm still looking for a location for this movie I'm talking about. I can't find one. But my spirit is still telling me to build. We have lands to build. But by the how much do you invest in just location? So by the time you see how much you invest, like that one, I invested over ₦1 million at that location, even when the resources were just there. I know how much I bought bamboo, you know, bought raffia, thatch, you know, because they were not like the thatch I had to buy from other local governments and then take a bus, take it to, or maybe pick up to the Obiokpa, because we use Obiokpa campus. So all of that. We have good stories, we have good producers, we have wonderful actors, but the problem is just funds. If we have enough funds, we can still bring people from outside, we can still groom our people to even be better than those outside. It's just all about funds.
Okay, you have actually answered another question. You have answered, so I will not ask that again. Okay, we are talking to Dr. Ekaette Brand. She said I should not add the Mrs., but she is married. So we are talking to Dr. Ekaette Brand, the producer, the Imperial Rift, one of the movies produced in Akwa Ibom State here. But we shall take a breather at the moment. Please stay with us. Thank you, and God bless you.
Have a business idea? Are you thinking of how to work your dream? Then be inspired. Learn from experienced entrepreneurs. Discover and develop your talents and potentials. Be challenged. Take that bold step to start off your business. Use your skills for the good of the society. Give wings to your vision. Let it fly. Be inspired. Brought to you by KIJC, live from KIJC Studio in Kwara State, Nigeria. Live stream via Facebook at Be Inspired Talk Show with Iquo from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Watch the rebroadcast via YouTube every Saturday by 6 p.m. at Be Inspired Talk Show with Iquo. Be Inspired, promoting entrepreneurship.
Alright, welcome back from that short break and thank you for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is Be Inspired. We are reaching you live from our KIJC studio, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Congratulations to us in KIJC for having our own studio. Please remember to like and follow our Facebook page at Be Inspired Talk Show with Iquo. Join us on Monday, March 31, 2025 by 7 p.m. for the rebroadcast of this particular episode. Then subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. We are talking to Dr. Ekaette Brian. Before I bring her back on camera, I am going to ring the bell for another person. This one is one of our ex-students. I remember how she used to cry when she just started school. She was missing her mother every day. Mrs. Blessing Isaac Christopher. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. God bless you. Okay, so back to our conversation. You have talked about recommendations and you have answered one question, like I said. So I will go to the next one. You have actually spoken a little about it, but I'll go. I want to say it in full. This other question has to do with compliance with national, professional, and commercial norms guiding film production in Nigeria. How do I mean? We have the National Video and Film Censors Board. We have the Nigerian Copyright Commission. We have the Actors Guild of Nigeria, Directors Guild, Association of Movie Producers of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State chapter. We have
which I'm a member.
That is what I'm coming to. Okay, then we have the Directors Guild of Nigeria. So I want to ask, in producing the movie The Imperial Rift, did you go through the censorship process with the National Video and Film Censors Board? Did you have any issues with copyrights, with the Copyright Commission? Did you comply with their own standards and requirements? The members, cast and crew members, are they all members of these different professional associations? So over to you.
Okay. Starting with all the cast and crew members, most of them were my students.
Okay.
At some point when someone came in to disrupt a particular movie,
Okay.
that was just enough.
Okay.
The major thing I told him was, you guys are not professionals.
Okay.
You are just coming in as a registered member. When you talk about costume, makeup, and the rest, all those units, most of them didn't study theater art.
Okay.
There's one thing that people fail to know. These people have studied this for 4 years. Some extended to 6 years.
Okay.
Some, to PhD. You can't tell them not to practice.
Mm-hmm.
We are all practitioners.
Mm-hmm.
But majorly, those who didn't study came up and formed a guild and said, this is Actors Guild,
Okay.
this is Producers Guild,
Mm-hmm.
this is this guild, and this is that guild.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people who are practicing this thing day and night.
Okay.
So when they come in, do you send them away?
Okay.
I believe that these people registered through the school fees they have paid.
Okay.
After 4 years, they'll receive a certificate.
Wow.
And they are professionals in that
That
area.
is a different,
So I think the only
different
difference,
perspective.
yes, the only difference is that you now have an association,
Okay.
which is like a body.
Okay.
They can register and be part of your body, but they have every right to also practice
Okay.
because of their certificates.
Okay.
So I didn't really look at that anyway, but from that time, recommendations were like, bring someone who is in the industry. Normally I bring them in as professionals and then attach my students to work with them.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so your director, I know currently he is
Outside
the country. I had to plead for him to give me his contact. I am yet to call him. I will come. Probably we'll speak with him from his location. We'll speak with him from here, but he will speak with us over there. All right, so that is fine. You have answered the question. So I will go to commercial norms. How did you distribute markets?
Distribute market, coming in as upcoming, there's something they call upcoming, we don't know, but upcoming is the actual language. When I came in, they said you will send it to what do they call it?
Marketers.
No, not just marketers. They were like, your movies can go on cinema.
Okay.
Cinema, you can. But when I started with the Imperial Rift, majorly it was Rock TV.
Okay.
They were like, you can send it to Rock TV, African Magic.
Okay.
That was the idea. But when I did Just in Love, they said it can go on cinema, that Netflix can buy it.
Okay.
That was why I brought in Iquo, brought in Shadows, Jibola, and the rest because of the idea I had. But, I still feel everything is all about connection.
Okay.
Because what if I produce nice movies and it doesn't go beyond Akwa Ibom State?
Okay.
How do I sell it?
So have you has the movie been featured in any of these channels, any of these platforms?
No, that was why I decided to create my YouTube page, pushing my movies there. Because it was just, I tried Rock sometime, that's with the Imperial Rift. I tried Rock TV. I didn't know that the reply they gave me, because I had 5/10. It was a pass mark.
Oh.
So when I saw 5/10 and then some of the things they said, Herbalist made a statement, something on cats. I've forgotten the lines now.
Okay.
They said if it is contemporary or if it is, I said, what are these people talking about? Is it not idiomatic expression? So the things they were writing to me, since I'm studying it, we're looking so obvious. So I didn't even mind. But it was a year after. Somebody said, did you send to her? I said yes. Said, okay, can I see the preview? When I saw the preview, madam, you did grace. 5/10. That means it's a pass mark. Okay. It was just for you to take out that
the parts.
Something, those parts, something on cards, which it was said by the herbalist, the oracle. I would have just taken it out, work on 1 or 2 sounds, and then just correct whatever they said and send it forward the back. But by the time I was told, it was late. They didn't even look at the movie again. So that was it. I decided to push it online.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so your focus in directing the movie. I am asking this because, like you have mentioned it in parts before. It is a Paul Frank movie. I call the shots here. You bring the money. I call the shots. Director and the cinematographer mostly, call the shots. So, your own focus. What was it? 1, 2. Was it in line with the director? By that I mean, did you agree? Did you work, in consonance?
Well, as I said, that was my first movie. I just wrote the script and gave it to them to direct.
Okay.
Because I didn't just want to interfere.
Okay.
I'm a very good stage director.
Yes.
So even till now, people are still saying, what we see on stage, I know you can still do it in film. I said, my dear, film takes time.
It's different.
And then you need, not just it's different. If I want to do it, I'll do it. But you need to be there.
Okay.
I'm somebody that, at the end of it, I want to run everything to make sure that it's going well. I want to be part of the costume, props, set, and everything. So I cannot run around like that and still sit to one place and say I'm directing. It's not possible. Because by the time I come to a location, something might be missing. Which is not. So in line with that, for Imperial Rift, since it was the first movie, I didn't even have an idea of film shoots and all of that. I just gave out the script. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. I wasn't really there. I would just stop by, peep, and walk away, and then look at the welfare, look at costume, look at location. So even in costume, most of my students were quite new in that. They were always coming, ma, please, what did you say? Which scene did they say they are going to? What are they going to wear? So it was like that. You run and go and scatter the bar, and then 5 minutes after, another person will come for another actor. Man, you say they should combine this bead with which clothes? We don't even understand. So it was like that. I was everywhere. So I didn't even look at what he did. It was in the studio. and now felt bad.
Oh.
Let me just call it that way. Because a lot of scenes were not shot.
Okay.
And some that were shot couldn't link
Okay.
because the links were not shot.
Okay.
So we needed to sit down and rework the story completely at the studio.
Okay. All right. I know when I spoke with the producer of Iquo, Dr. Idiongo Hussein Smith, I asked this question and she said she actually had a vision board which she showed to the director and discussed with him. They agreed. So the director had an understanding of what the producer wanted to achieve, and they actually worked in line. Same thing with John Henry and the producer of The Eyes of All. By the way, I should have called her. Can you imagine? She is supposed to be on live with us today. I will call her later. Okay, good. Not a problem. You have learned from that. We keep growing. Nobody is a repository of knowledge, so we keep growing. The other question I said you have already answered is a part of contributions, financial support. You have addressed it, so I will not ask again. Okay, we have a little challenge with the network. Okay, so what would you consider to be the achievement of this particular movie, the Imperial Rift?
Well, I think that review should be for those people watching, not me, because I know that I'm doing what I need to do, what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
I'm a teacher,
Okay.
I'm a creative. I'm always there to create, work with a team of students to achieve something. So whatever achievement, they should be the one to report, not me. I'm just there to help them and assist them grow. So that's it.
Okay, but you can still tell us that. All right. We got so and so review so far. On YouTube, we're getting this kind of responses and all of that. That's what I mean.
No. The movie, the Imperial Rift. Aside from me, because why we didn't have more views was because at some point when I had to add the fattening room rights.
Okay.
The channel was flagged.
Okay.
So at some point the channel was blocked.
Okay.
So that was why I think by now would have had close to 1 million plus or more views. Because I was shocked when I woke up one day. I started saying 30k, 40k, almost every day, 50k, 70k, till it got to 100 and something k.
Okay.
So I was like, is this how YouTube is like? I decided to push in the next movie.
Okay.
So the same day I pushed in the next movie, the channel was blocked. And they were talking about copyright, that I had to present evidence and everything.
Okay.
Although it delayed, because when I saw it blocked, I walked away. I didn't even mind.
Okay.
It was later that somebody advised, they said you should send a review about all your movies, if you're doing it or whatever. So I sent a review. But then when I sent it, it wasn't even up to 12 hours. The channel was open. But by that time, the damage had been done. So the movie was stopped.
Okay.
So I think if not because of that, we would have had a lot of views. But from the views so far, great story. Although we also flagged for copyright, so we decided to block some sounds. That's why when you watch, you notice some sounds are not,
Yes.
and in the system. I was just doing it. I didn't even understand. But I learned my lessons anyway.
Okay, I like the fact that you're very real, you're very sincere. There's nothing to hide. You have said it was your first experience. You have realized some things. So going forward, of course, you have improved on
Definitely,
those areas. Okay. This is about the last question. Access to the film. The film is on YouTube, so not a problem. Any other useful information that you may have for especially young people in the creative and entertainment industry?
Well, useful information.
Like advice.
Advice.
Yes.
Well, I would say that a lot of people are so desperate to come into this industry.
Okay.
But by the time they see what it entails, they'll disappear.
Okay.
So I just pray that we have people that will sit down, study and do the right thing, because we have a lot of creatives. Anyway, we have a lot of people who have love for this industry. Okay. But the problem is they want fast everything. in the society today. So everything wants to be very fast, and then they want to grow big, they want to become star tomorrow, they want to become big names and everything. But it's not that way. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of hard work. As you are working with someone, a producer, a director, do it with all your heart, do it rightfully, do it as if you are investing your own money, not just coming to take money from a producer and walk away and then you do as you like. The industry is a great one, definitely. If we can really work together in Akwa Ibom State, it will just be like Lagos one day. It will be like Asaba. People are running out to Lagos, Asaba. We have everything it takes to run a very big movie industry in Akwa Ibom State. Just the support from everybody, and then not just look at money first, but to look at what you can sacrifice, what you can offer, what you can give out to the society for now.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. Oh, unfortunately, we're having issues with connecting. So Facebook again. So I want to say thank you so much. We have been talking to Dr. Ekaette. Thank you so much.
I love the name so much, Ekaette Bride.
Wow. Ekaette Bride Edem. Okay, Sister Sylvia says, hello, be inspired. Hello, Sister Sylvia. Oh my goodness, I'm still trying to connect. I have no idea why network is this. Dr. Aniebia says, Mama IQ. I am still trying to connect so that they can see your face one more time before you go. Okay, so thank you so much, Doctor, for being here.
Thank you
today. I want to thank your husband
for pushing me.
to push you. To push you. Thank you so much. And I want to thank your husband one more time, Mr. Brian, right?
Definitely.
Okay, Mr. Brian and John Paul Brian. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I also like to give glory to Almighty God for His faithfulness, for everything He has done for us for life and provision. I'd like to thank my family members for their support, my sister in Lagos, Barrister Harry Johnson, Sister Sylvia Tewan Johnson, my son, Jeffo Baba. Thank you so much, my daughter, Chloe Baby Girl, thank you so much. And Mr. and Mrs. Bodile Obiosio for sponsoring our publicity flyer all the way from Sweden. Mr. Owolabi Samuel in Oyo. And then my crew, Esther Ransom, thank you so much. Always on the camera in Yabasi. I think she is somewhere in the building. Queen Grace Iba Ekran Bong at CNN Grade, if you know what I mean. For publicity, I would like to thank Mr. Taylor Sonde Basil, one of our students. He is always sharing the video. Every time I said it, he will share it. Thank you so much. Abasimo Ibanga Ekranbong, thank you for the publicity. Regina Timothy, thank you as well. Okay, you out there who joined us, let me see the names one more time. I have Sister Sylvia Etawan Johnson, I have Dr. Aniebia Owana Mbede, I have Miss Emmanuel Okon, Simi Mo, is it? Okay, yes, I can see it. Certified Simi, Blessing Isaac Christopher. Thank you so much. And you out there who will watch the program later, thank you very much. Please remember to join us on Monday, like I have been announcing, March 31, the last day in March, by 7 p.m. for the rebroadcast of this particular episode. So if you missed it, you can watch it live again. And then join us every Saturday by 11 a.m. for the program. Thank you so much. My name is Iquo. I am the host of this program. Before I close, I say to you, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be good to yourself, be good to others. And remember, you will succeed if you do not give up on that dream. Be inspired.
Oh yeah, Canada, go take you to Canada. Yeah.